You no longer see unrecognizable symbology in totems. Totem lore reads to you just as easily as your native language. Bard can identify another Furbolg then, due west of here. If they expertly decipher the language and totem and know that your destination is Bristol Village. Lore will guide you, but if you get lost, you know that you'll be able to take the ancient elven road in the forest leading west to reach your destination. Come, Dizek. Let's leave the water together, purified. But yeah, it takes away from the game and my ability to enjoy it, knowing that like anything you do could be is possibly non-canon, and you can do will be retconned in a moment's notice. The Blizzard writers really do need to learn to care more about what they're writing, what they're doing, than they do. They also need to just generally be better. What we're seeing from Blizzard is not good writing. And Blizzard wasn't really known for its great writing in the first place. They made some interesting worlds, interesting settings, but they didn't have the best writing to begin with. I'm not saying it was terrible, but it often had its weak points. We go now, together. We will seek Vark. Follow me to Vark. But it was often weak. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is Blizzard writing had its good points, had its, like, good storylines, but they often had, put out weak stuff. Poor writing, butchering of characters, whatever. But they have gotten worse since. I keep thinking of the storyline from the War of Verdansk with what's his face, the King of Stromgarde, saying that the sons of Wotar preach equality and tolerance or something, and it's just like, the fuck are you going on about, man? So it just Blizzard. Like, there's some companies that do great stories, really standout stuff. Blizzard wasn't one of them. They weren't terrible, but they were more middle of the road ish. They had their strong moments, they had their weak moments. But they have been having more and more weak moments lately. And part of it is because there's immatureness surrounding, having boundaries on what they write. They'll decide that they want to write a story and they'll just retcon anything that gets in the way of it. Rather than shifting it around any which way, they'll just plow on through and break stuff. And then there's also the poor writers. So, it just annoys me. Hurry, Dezek. Vark awaits you. There's other stuff, but I don't feel like getting into it right now. Yeah, basically, there's another thing that bugs me, but I don't really want to get into it right now. Like, I want to make a point, but I'm just like, I'm not sure how I can make it, and I'm not sure if it would ever be well received, basically. So it's just like, fuck, do I even want to bother with it? Yeah, I don't. There's another point, but I don't think it would ever be well received. People will. I've seen a lot of people deliberately misunderstand others. Like, no matter how clearly you make a point, they'll decide what your point is, and then they'll scream at you for what they've decided your point is. I've dealt with people like that IRL, and God, do I fucking. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it on here. But at the same time, I just like letting them dictate everything I can say or do. You know? Ah, fuck it. Hey folks, welcome to some more post-commentary. So, this is like, I'm on hour 5 now in total. I'm tired of this. Sword over the head in the background, that's not my cursor, that's part of soft targeting. I'm gonna be attacked 3 times. Now, there's a bit of lazy writing I noted in WoW, but it's on an awkward line, which makes it really hard to comment on, because people are gonna spaz and be idiots about it. They introduced the character in the Human Heritage Quest, and, well, the humans of Stormwind have always been depicted as, you know, stereotypical European fancy kind of people. You know, some had a heavy tan, but, you know, typically white. Well, they introduced a black guy with cornrows or dreads. Reason it stands out is that's a certainly new haircut for WoW, but it may have also been a haircut that I saw one black guy on Twitter really angry about, because they weren't making any character black guy without those for a time. According to him, at least. Or maybe it was a different haircut and I'm just confusing it. I don't remember. But he was really pissed about it. It's like them, you like a strong, independent woman character, so they give her the side chain. You know, every fucking one. So he was pissed about it. I think he was trying to view it like, you know, fried chicken or watermelon. You know, it's part of the stereotype. But, no. So anyway, black dude, that's part House Nobles. I've no issue with that on principle, but, well, Stormwind's never been depicted as exactly, you know, biracial. You know, it's been depicted in a very typical European fancy sort of way. And so, to randomly introduce someone outside of that requires a bit of work. Just to establish like where they come from, because you can't act as if they've been there for 20 years when you haven't seen hide nor hair of them. You know, it's like acting like it's like you're writing a Black Panther comic. It's somehow run on for 20 years. This one run, and you decide, yeah, you know what? They're going to go to the Mongol quarter now and chat with Genghis Khan. He's there and he'll provide help. Well, why are you looking at me weird? He's been there the whole time. You know? That'll be fucking weird. You know, or if you establish a place is all, or all you show of a place is this one group, then suddenly introduce another group as if it's, you know, nothing different. It's kind of weird. You know, that's all I'm saying. If you're establishing a setting, then if you want to change a detail of it, you do have to justify it to some degree. Like, the easiest way, some of the Arathi from the new expansion emigrate to Stormwind. Job done. Or you introduce another human faction, a kingdom or a city-state, elsewhere, and some of them emigrate to Stormwind after, like, a contact with the Stormwind footmen, Stormwind Knights. There's a bit of camaraderie in the fight against some mutual enemy. And they really dig Stormwind's, you know, culture. They really embrace it, and they emigrate to the place, and you know they assimilate. They really embrace it, and they move over there. And maybe some of the Stormwind people stay in the new place. They set down roots there. A bit of cross-pollination. You know, you can easily do this kind of storyline, and thereby justify having new characters in either place. It's a really easy thing to do in writing. But they didn't do that. They just, oh, here's a new dude, here's a new character, and moves on. But then again, these are the same writers who have Sons of Lothar preach tolerance and understanding, or whatever he said. I could never find the quote, and I'm not digging up the Bellular video to find it. Whatever it was fucking HR speech. And that dude would not speak like he's reading off a HR sheet. He's, you know, lifetime military guy and king. I think he is a king in his own right. He's a lifetime military dude who flung himself through a portal to another world with absolutely no hope of ever returning home, and managed to somehow survive that hell. He's not going to speak as if he's reading from a HR pamphlet. The Sons of Lothar are, you know, pretty legendary, really. They're a bunch of mad lads that went above and beyond. You know, he's not going to speak like he's reading a HR pamphlet. But again, what do we expect of writers who only know HR pamphlets and the demographics of New York City? So, like, in the stories I'm writing, there's going to be places that are monoracial. Just white people over there, just black people over there. And I don't mean within a city, I mean within the surrounding environs. The city and the villages nearby, within the country, perhaps. You know, there may be a few odd travelers of either way, going either way. But, you know, they're going to be limited. And so if there is a notable, you know, presence of the outgroup, whichever way you're looking, like you say if you're in the black city and it's, you know, a bunch of white people turn up, then that will be of note. It's like, you know, traveling traders. You know, has there been a war? These refugees. You know, characters would take note. And it could be, you know, the other way around. You know, it's a white city, black refugees come in. Or maybe they're traders. You know, maybe these are retinues of a noble. You know, it would attract note. It may be a passing thought, but it would attract something. So, like, and then there will be biracial places, and I mean that both is in, you know, white and black, or also human and non-human, you know. And so it's you know, like, say if you have a human settlement here, and suddenly there's like 20 elves walking down the street, you're going to take note of the elves. It's the same with the other way, you know. On the, I feel it's a lower scale if it's just pigment shifting within a race, you know. But it would still be of note. So, the fact they just wrote the guy and moved on is lazy writing. Because literally all they had to do was, oh yeah, he's from here, he married into the nobles, he's part of the House of Nobles now. That's all they had to do, but they didn't do it. I suppose the Arathi, as they are in the War Within, and my hypothetical human faction don't exist, but, like, literally that's all they had to do to justify it. Like, you know, say if a High Mountain Tauren now turns up in Thunderbluff, oh, he just emigrated from, you know, High Mountain. He wanted to go join the Tauren over there. You know? If a Nightborn ends up in Silvermoon, she just wanted to emigrate from, you know, Suramar. Easy. I'm hearing background noise and it's throwing me, and now I'm like, I gotta restart. But if you were to write like that High Mountain Tauren in Thunderbluff without establishing, you know, High Mountain, and just act as if he's, you know, no different to any other Tauren, despite him having like deer antlers, like don't High Mountain Tauren have like weird like horns? Or was that a headdress on some of them? I barely remember the zone. Or, you know, like the purple elf being among the, you know, highborn, or the blood elves, kind of, you know, stick out like a sore thumb, black and blue thumb. So, you know, acting like they're just, you know, the same as anyone else, born and bred in Silvermoon, would be kind of weird. You kind of do need to give the character a backstory. You would have to explain where they came from, because they do stand out compared to everyone else. Because Stormwind was depicted in typical European fantasy sort of way. So if you want to shift the demographics, you kind of have to provide a reason for it 20 years in, you know? I've no issue with it, but you have to actually write it. Like if you're writing a city of giants and then suddenly have, you know, halflings in there, where the fuck did halflings come from? Oh, they've been there the whole time. Then why didn't we see them? You know? Point stands there. It's just lazy writing. But honestly, is anyone surprised? It's Blizzard we're talking about. I'm too jaded. But yeah. So, I have no problem with the character himself, as long as his writing's fine, which, let's be honest, probably isn't. Blizzard is known for their good writing. But, ignoring that, I have no problem with the character himself. What I have a problem with is lazy writing, where they just, like, materialized him from nowhere. That's my issue. So if after all of this, you still don't understand what the hell I'm going on about, your teachers have failed you. Your parents have failed you. Society has failed you. I think I made myself overly clear so that everyone on the short bus, even if they've been run over first by the short bus, can understand me. I have no issue with the character himself. I have an issue with him materializing in a place that never had him there before. If you want to have a character like that, then you need to, like, who's new to the place, you need to justify them being there. Like, if I'm writing a place that's all black, I'm not going to suddenly just have a white character, you know, there as, you know, acting like a normal local. I would have to justify his presence. I would have to write a reason for why he's there, why everything. Just why. I would have to write an explanation. And it's easily done. Maybe he's adopted. You know, maybe... Like, they did that in Black Panther. You know, the T'Challa? He actually has a white brother. Plane crashed. There was one survivor, a young child, and T'Challa's father, in a fit of sympathy, took the kid in. The locals hated his guts for being an outsider, but the guy actually ended up a diehard loyalist to Wakanda, to the point he headed up the secret police and killed a lot of people for his adoptive father. So, you know, it's easy to explain it, but you have to actually explain it. Just introducing a character like that with no backing just seems like no background is just poor writing. But you don't really expect much of Blizzard now, do you? The sons of Lothar preach tolerance and understanding. Like, really, like, if he's trying to say that they do, like, peacekeeping stuff now, they try and keep the peace between the Alliance and the Horde, at least in their stretch of the Eastern Kingdoms, then he would say something like, we've been trying our hand at peacekeeping as of late. or something like this. He wouldn't be saying tolerance and understanding. He would be, more of a, we've been trying, we've been trying our hands at peacekeeping, not warmongering. Or, we've been trying to be peacekeepers, not fighters, not warriors. Emphasizing, them more peaceful deeds, more, them not being brawlers and more, trying, it would still get the same idea across, but it would sound more proper, you know? I'm not sure I can quite get the character's voice, but I know for damn sure the Blizzard writers don't even care about getting the character voice right. And to be honest, I don't know how you write someone else's character, because, how do you get their character voice right? You know? I worry about getting my own character voices right. How do you write someone else's? Though, to be fair, Blizzard even has an issue getting their own character voices right. Even when the writer who made up the characters there, they still spaz out on the writing them sometimes. So it's just I'm not surprised that the newer writers have issues. But anyway, I'm gonna cut this here. Like I said, I think I made myself more than amply clear. If you still have an issue, then that's on you. I have no issue with the character himself. I have an issue with he's never been depicted there before, and no one of his complexion has been either. So if it's someone new in town, then you have to just show where he came from, and give some background. Just materializing him out of nowhere as if he's always been there is lazy writing. Not everywhere has the demographics of New York City or San Fran, Some places are monoracial, and that's how Stormwind came off up to this point. So showing new people requires a little bit of legwork to justify them being there. Jesus.
I can't cast that. That's still returned. I can't cast that.
One, two. So I don't know if I'm saying it well, I don't know if I'm saying it right. And I'm feeling people are going to probably spaz out even if I am. Even if I'm perfectly fucking clear, people are probably going to spaz out anyway. But I was giving some writing advice, basically. On one detail that bugged me. And I'll leave it to future me to decide if it stays in or not. I'll be having to be deciding promptly, but I'll have to listen over it and see what I'm happy with. Or maybe do just post commentary to try and abbreviate it, because I do think the last bit ended up being 12 minutes long. And that's a bit too long. Fuck. You understand this to mean justice. The images on this totem depict a war between the Stillpine and the Bristlelimb Furbolg tribes. The etchings show that the Bristlelimb have done unconscionable things to the Furbolgs at Stillpine. Oh, and what have you done to the Bristlelimb, eh? Oh, it so often goes both ways. Amidst the chaos, a prophecy has begun to unfold. A hero will rise not of Furbolg blood, and save the Stillpine tribe. Slay Bristlelimb Furbolgs at Bristlelimb village for their keys. Use the keys to free the Stillpine captives. Return to Agrugo of the Stillpine when you've freed them all. Nor always freed my quota. Gotta leave some for the dick wolves. Bear witness to the savage acts of our adversaries, Tezek. They see we're young or weak. Prison them here, they're left to the devices that'll bristle them. Set them free, promised one.
I can't cast that. That's still recharged. That spell isn't ready yet.
I think I need to get a key per cage. I can get Word of Glory. Ooh, I have Holy Power now. Nice.
I can't cast that. That's still recharged. That spell isn't ready yet.
Yeah, one key per captive.
I can't die.
I'm not sure if I'll care about fishing.
That's still recharged.
But I've bandits.
That spell isn't ready.
Let's avoid that.
I can't cast that yet.
Just whenever Anne's too nice, I'm always scared of Blizzard deciding, ah, that was a exploit.
I can't
Delete.
cast that yet.
And
That
deleting my
spell
account.
isn't ready yet.
Probably shouldn't put up the video of it, but oh well. Heirloom gear.
It's too far away. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharged. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharged.
Okay, there we go. For a while, they had profession abilities. This lifeblood, which is a minor heal over time, that also apparently gives you haste and grows flowers.
Inventory is full. I'm out of range.
Do keys take up inventory space? Don't I have the keychain for that? But I think they may remove them in Pandaria? They removed them at some point because they felt like they were making things mandatory for people to use. And they didn't want things to be mandatory for like if you were like one class, you had to have this profession. They didn't want things to be mandatory, but honestly, it was kind of sad to miss that, to lose it because some of the bonuses were kind of cool. But I suppose I can see the point. Those remaining at Still Find Hold will welcome you as a hero. I can understand. It was sad to lose them because they were kind of cool, but I can understand why that was the case. Because, like, say if you're a it is restrictive. Like, say if you're... Come on. Fuck you. It is restrictive. So, say if you're playing a thing and you... Like, oh, I want to be a tailor. But the professions good for your thing are like herbalism and skinning. Because you need the self-heal and the crit boost. Well, now you're a herbalist and a skinner. And it becomes harder to justify having, like, say, various crafting professions because they don't provide you with the abilities that the production professions give you. Because I think the only professions that gave you abilities were, like, the gathering professions. The production, mining, skinning, and herbalism. Skinning gave you crit chance, mining gave you, like, bonus stamina or something. And the herbalism gave you the self-heal. Nothing else gave you like appreciable abilities like that. Instead, like if you had blacksmithing, you could put additional sockets on some of your gears, so you could put on additional gems. And I do believe that's something they've kept. But it is a pretty damn minor thing. They've also neutered gems into just, instead of having like the multicolor in like red, green, and yellow, or red, blue, and yellow, and then multicolored gems, you have like it's just like everything is a prismatic thing, you know. So there's no like gem bonuses anymore and stuff like this. So come on. So Blizzard always has to keep neutering things, and people do malign WoW as like a theme park. Like with a theme park, you queue to go on something that's on, railroads. You have fun in a restrictive way. You may enjoy yourself, but it's within the confines set by the people who set the place up. You don't... The fun isn't self-directed. It's pre-designed by someone else. The stillborn Furbolgs will not soon forget your bravery. It's not designed by someone else. It's not set and designed by you. Like, people found a way in Legion to make pseudo-flight happen, where they'd use multiple items together to fly. Blizzard quite quickly, patched that and removed it. I don't think they banned anyone for exploits, but they quite quickly got pissy about it. And that it's like that the whole time. If you have fun in ways they don't approve of, it's gotten rid of. And if it's extreme enough, you're banned. I think there may have been herbs behind me, but oh well. So... yeah, I know, it just sucks. Just Blizzard constantly trying to siphon the, 7! Jesus Christ. Siphon the fun out of it. Or still can't get that, I'm nearly there.
That spell isn't ready yet.
But, yeah, it's just Blizzard trying to siphon the fun out of it.
That's still redundant.
I would love to have the kind of money to just buy Blizzard. Buy Blizzard and... you know, the Griffin Master used to be on the outside of the Exodar. Used to just be able to walk past that crystal and get up on a ledge. But it's now inside. In which case it's better to go this way. But I'd love to just be able to buy Blizzard and try and fix it. One way to do it would be to... like, remember the whole WoW 2.0 thing? Maybe you could do something like that. Redo like this room. Some people were claiming that, you know, the succubi matrons you see in Legion were actually the true forms of these things and what they actually look like. I think it's actually just a succubi after middle age spread. You know, I think it's just them in their old age after putting on weight. They let themselves go. That's how I always took it.
Welcome. Browse at your leisure.
But yeah.
Blessings upon your family.
Ah, Portal of Darn. And Dark Portal. At least you used to need to be 58 to use the portal. And the Dark Portal. Can I afford a bag?
May you find what you seek.
Yeah, I could. A few, actually. I know I complain a lot, but that's just simply because I see a lot that annoys me. I am actually a big fan of WoW and of stuff. That's why I complain so much. Because I really like it and I know they can do better. Or I want them to do better at the very least. Ah, it's got rid of the 8-hour, the 2-hour and 8-hour options. So it's now 12, 24, and 48. Or was it always 2-hour, 12-hour, That. Yeah, I think they just got rid of 2 hour. Jesus. I think I have a different mod on than previous. The UI certainly feels different. Okay. I'll worry about leveling cooking later. Cooking is another good moneymaker, or fair moneymaker. I'll worry about leveling it later. Also gonna have to level it through all the expansions, so yeah. Yeah, this UI is definitely different. I missed the other one.
Path of the light.
But if it works... Like the other one kept crashing out. So, yeah. But yeah, sorry for all my complaining, it just... I know, whenever I start playing this, I keep thinking of just stuff that annoys me and not the stuff I like. And so my mind just fixates. Should sell that.
I hope you find something useful.
Yes, you buying this. That is not what I meant.
Do not lose.
It is what I wanted.
Warm wishes to you. Safe journey.
You know when I was hearing of the thing of the Draenei landing and having to like make peace talks with the Alliance, cause, especially given their connections with the Eridar, it never really went as grand as I thought it would, you know? Like, we're already clearly part of the Alliance from the get-go, you know? So it's just like... I wish it was more... It was a grander affair. And I wish they had played that side of it up more. Because, oh, they're like cousins of those demons that attacked us? Like, Archimond? You know, there could have been more of a grudge between the Night, or distrust between the Night Elves and the Draenei because of that connection. Simple bigotry, but yeah. Fuck, like, Tyrande tried to murk people for ignoring her non-existent stay off my lawn sign. So, you know. I could buy it. Ugh. Coffee's not the best. Furbolg, the prophecy spoke of one that would rise and deliver us from the oppressive grasp of Bristlelim, that the spirits themselves would herald the arrival of this hero. And now you have come. I humble myself before you, Great One. Promised One, you must travel north to the home of my people, Stillpine Hold. It is there you'll face your most daunting challenge. Go now. High Chief Stillpine awaits your arrival.
May the light embrace you. Be well.
Do not waste time, boy.
Safe journey.
Watch as the plant works its magic.
May your days be long and your hardships few.
The sun disappearing, they have me use my potion. Thankfully, the thing caught it. This should do it. This won't do at all! He seems to disagree. Wake up, little creature. Wake up from your slumber. You are safe now. Groans. Sits up. What? Where am I? What is this place? By the light of Elune, Aradar, cursed demons, what have you done to me? I have not come alone. We'll fight you as we have in the past. Minari? But how? We are not Aradar. She must know. With others like her, we must find them and explain.
Each day is a blessing.
The prophet spoke of this day, that on this island in this new world our allies would find us. We will be tested. They will ask that we pay for the sins of our fathers. It sounds so grand, but it's just, it's like, the fuck are you? Oh, you're not demons? You're related, but you're not them? Oh, okay. They're chill really quickly. They don't even put our face in the fire, you know? Time I did not understand the meaning behind his words, but seeing this creature and her reaction to us, it is now coming into focus. Corruption of our people has been felt even here. Venture south. There we found this being. Find its kin and tell them of our people.
Dionys Aka.
This structure violates at least 8 different ordinances.
Arcanon Poros. Remember the lessons of the
Unusually
past.
rigid. The buck hides are rugged and strong, making for very tough flesh. Almost inedible, but we can use them for other purposes.
Be kind to those.
Wonderful. Turning into quite the hunter, Desic. How would you like to look more like me? Well, here's your chance. While we were out hunting, I fashioned these items out of some buck hides I had laying around. Take your pick. Either 20 armor or 15. Ooh.
Be well.
So we get either holy shock, walk in the light, or meditation. Bend your shield, vengeance, touch by the light. So holy shock is holy shock, walk in the light. Increase effectiveness of your healing spells by 10%. The effectiveness of your word of glory by 30%. Removes the cooldown on word of glory. 30% of your mana regen from spirit to continue on combat. Bend your shield, vengeance. Each time you take damage, you gain 5% damage taken as attack power, up to a maximum of 10% of your health. Increase your total stamina by 15%, spell hit by 8%, spell power by an amount equal to 6% of your strength. Using your judgment ability grants you 30% of your base mana over 10 seconds. Templar's Verdict. You spend your holy power on that. Sheet of Light increases your spell power by 30% of your attack power and your chance to hit with spells by 8%. Oh, kind of like Sheet of Light in SOD, though weaker. Two-hand specialization increases damage by two-handed weapons, by 25%, which is a lot like that old classic talent. Your judgment grants you 25% of your base mana over 10 seconds. 5% weaker than Judgments of the Wise. I did like Sacred Shield. It was kind of useful. Eye for an eye. Huh. You know, this talent tree really feels just kind of thrown together. Things are all over the place. Crusade. Increase the damage of your Crusader Strike, Hammer of Righteousness, and Templar's Verdict by 10%, and the damage of and healing of Holy Shock by 10%. In addition, 15%, 15 seconds after killing an enemy that yields experience or honor, your next Holy Light heals for an additional 100%. These towns are really all over the place. Like, I'm coming from playing Classic. They're really weird. All magic attacks against you have a 20% chance to cause 30% of the damage taken back to the attacker. As well. I think before it was crits or something? That is actually kind of useful. Especially in PvP, where like you can be fighting like a mage, and they can dish out some insane damage. Eye for an eye gives you at least like a chance to make them take a chunk out of themselves. It's only 30% and it's a 20% chance, but still, it could end up proving useful as just like a bonus thing. Isn't this an AoE seal? No. Seal command, seals of command. It's no longer seal command, but it's in classic you could get seal command as a thing. But now they've changed it so you don't get seal command as its own standalone thing, but the thing is still in the same position. They just different now. Seal righteousness, truth, and justice now also deal 7% weapon damage when triggered. In addition, your seal righteousness now hits all enemies within melee range. So AoE seal. Duration of your Inquisition by 66%. I don't remember what that is. Your Crusader Strike generates 3 charges of holy power per strike for the next 20 seconds, consumes 3 holy power, requires 3 holy power to use, but does not consume holy power. So I guess the idea will be to use Crusader Strike, then use Vindicator Strike, or whatever it's called, to alternate between the two. But anyway, Crusade.
I don't have a target.
So I do this, then I do that. If I do this more, I'll generate more power,
I don't have a target.
and then I can do this for
I need a
more.
target.
So,
The Legion's end draws
Exarch
near.
Menelaus, gaze upon the exit of our young Draenei. It is hard to imagine that we survived such a catastrophe. Menelaus sighs. Prophet states that it is here that our fate will finally be known. 10 lifetimes spent fleeing from the madness of the Burning Legion. Here we finally make a stand. No more running. I am ready to die.
Blessings
You
upon
found
your
what?
family.
Where?
Remain
How did such a thing end up in the stomach of a Night Stalker? Good thing they breathe from the crash of contaminated more beasts.
good health.
Night Stalker cleanup? I'll too. I'm not going to make any excuses for what you found. This is clearly our fault. We've gotten reports of crushed crystal fragments showing up in the river to the east, but chose to ignore the implications. Then we can sit around on this island and cry about the tragedies befallen this land. Do something about it and prevent it from spreading. I've got the stomach for it. I want you to go back into the wilds and kill many of the infected Night Stalkers as you can find.
May your days be long and your hardships few.
Seem to come from the north. If I were you, that's where my hunt would
Remember
start
the
my hunt.
lessons of the past.
You've survived the wilds of your new home and shown yourself a cut above the others. I believe that you have come of age to assist those battling on the front lines of Bloodmist. And the Vargas could use a Draenei like you. Report to Tauralius, the pack handler. You'll find him tending to the elk. Give him these orders so that he may direct you towards your new duties on Bloodmist. Won't grab that just yet. Yeah, they make crystal vials at some point baseline, so there's no longer like empty vials, leaded vials, crystal vials. There's no longer the tier system that you saw in SOD. It's I think Cata was the one that changed it. So again, it's Blizzard condensing things and removing the like the mechanics of it. Um, like it's not that big of a change, but I find like removing stuff like that removes a bit of flavor from it. It just simplifies it. And well, it's not like it's a complicated thing, but it just, I know, it just makes the place feel a little smaller, you know? So, meh. And like them removing spirit, it wasn't the most grand of things, but it was sad to see a stat going. And then they removed your ability to benefit from anything other than what they dictated for your class. So like for paladins, rep paladins, it's, you know, strength, stamina, strength and stamina. You don't get benefits from int or anything else. It's just, or agility. It's just strength and stamina. Like they like narrow your focus completely. You can't try anything else. It's part of that railroading and theme park. Like even if it's suboptimum, I like it there as an option, as a thing, not blocking me out of it completely. So I need to stop complaining. I just like complaining, damn it.
You wish to buy? Trade?
Should I make potions?
Safe journey. Welcome. Browse at your leisure.
Should I make potions? I'm trying to remember how this goes, and I think I shouldn't. Not yet. Like, see here, like, we already have a guard patrolling all the way down here. There's, you know, this could have been a bit better scripted as, you know, us joining the alliance, you know? Because it's very, like, we're pretty much already in, you know? Like, given the history, like, it feels like it should have been a grander thing. Like, we shouldn't just walk in, we should have been stopped by guards, that's the thing. Him just saying, watch your step around here, stranger. It's very casual for a guy who damn well could think he's talking to a demon, you know? You say that you found one of our crew and that she's injured. Send one of my crewmen to your village immediately. And see? It's like, answer for the sins of our fathers. But there's... it's all very casual. Like, it's like the night elf there has some issue with us, I think, but that's it. Like,
Be careful.
Greetings.
eyes you suspiciously.
May the stars guide
I suppose it might make sense this guy didn't see our command. She did. They have a bit of history. Same with him, but it's he should at least know of the Eridar, like the tales and whatnot. And here he meets a Draenei, who is, cousins with it. He's literally talking to an alien here, other than the orcs. And maybe the ogres. Yeah. He's literally talking to an alien here, who somehow speaks his language. It's... This should be a very concerning situation.
Need help? Go with honor.
I am Commander Odysseus of the of Alliance Naval Command. A ship was forced to port on your island due to an infestation of sorts. It's embarrassing to even talk about, but goblins somehow managed to stow away in the holds of both of my ships. Last night, while most of the ship's crew was asleep, below deck they struck. Stranger still, they took our navigation gear and jumped ship. Disappeared into the thicket east of here. Go in search for gear. We'll make a strong gesture.
The Alliance. Good day to you.
Avast ye, matey. Cookie's me name, and cooking is me game. That McWeak sauce bloodline be a long line of cooks and tradesmen that work to please the more delicate senses of man and woman.
See you around.
The captain be right. You are a resourceful one. Mayhap you could help Cookie out. If I serve the crew chicken for dinner again, I'll be sent to the brig for sure. I noticed that there be crawlers along the coastline. Lots of crawlers. Bring me crawler meat. I'll be forever indebted to you. Help a reformed pirate out.
Have a good one.
Could go tailoring instead of engineering if I'm fixated on money, because bags would be profitable. Netherweave. Always liked making netherweave bags. Well, buying them. Whenever I make a new alt, I'll immediately head to like Stormwind or wherever and pick up a full thing of netherweave bags for them. It'll be like a bit, they'll be like 8 gold a piece, 850, and there's a nice bag for them that'll tide them over for ages. So it was a solid investment. Now each bag costs like 100 gold a piece. The pricings have just gone ridiculous. Also, Calypso, Odysseus. There's an Odyssey thing going on here. Calypso, wasn't she the witch or something that kept Odysseus captive for years and repeatedly raped him or tried to? That's what one person said it was. Gonna be honest, I was meant to finish reading the Odyssey for my leaving cert. I never did. I just had tremendous issues in actually, focusing. Like doing the study, doing the work. I just winged it from what I remember from class. Still got like a C or a B on honors. While never reading the course book. Never finishing it anyway. Same went for the Aeneid.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer. That spell isn't ready.
help you?
Can't you see I'm busy? Mechatork.
You have a great day now.
That's still recharging. It's too far away. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I'm out of range. I can't cast that. I need to get closer. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that. That's still recharging.
Goddamn, the drop rate's terrible.
Yeah, that's still recharging. I can't cast that.
What's with the amount of meatless crabs?
That spell isn't ready yet. I'm out of range. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
That's compulsive from playing
Yeah,
SOD.
that's still recharging.
One, two.
Hey there. Safe travel.
Arr, yar. Shiver me timbers. Sorry, lad. Gotta practice me pirate, at least I forget it.
See you later.
And bless your heart, stranger. This go a long way in lifting the morale of the crew.
Safe travels.
Elune be with you. Elune.
While some may look at our current predicament as an unfortunate turn of events, I see that we're here for a reason. The invisible hand of fate has pushed us in this direction. The reason will become evident in time. To the west lies an ancient Night Elf city, now in ruin and overrun with Naga. We have remiss of me to sit idly by as the Naga taint my ancestral lands. Shown yourself capable paladin. One of my people and cleanse the ruins of their unwelcome inhabitants.
Go in peace.
And that's it. She still eyes us suspiciously, but none of it comes true in the quest she gives.
Hi.
I am Adamant Ironheart of the great city of Ironforge. Probably guess by looking by my as you could probably guess by looking at my uniform, I was once part of the Ironforge Elite Guard. Yep, I was Magni's right-hand man. Well, at least until I retired. Now I dabble in archaeology. It's a hobby, really. Plus, I figured it would be a great way to see the world.
Safe
The
travels.
priestess tells me that the ruins to the west are what's left of a Night Elf civilization. That got me thinking about what my papa used to always say about Night Elf ruins. Sonny, whenever you see Night Elf ruins, Night Elf relics are sure to be close by. Now, what kind of dwarf would I be if I didn't hire the first person I saw to go digging up Night Elf relics for me? Now get going.
See you soon.
It's pretty hard to find the not Night Elf, the Blood Elf bandits. They creep around the whole zone like stealthed. It's really hard to find them.
I can't cast that.
What the hell did I just say? 1, 2. And I messed up my UI. In OBS. There we go. That's been fixed. Can I gather this now? Yep. Oh, it's just on level. Nice. Oh, I'm so stressing. Let's go gather the nautical compass and map. Actually, I'm gonna head to bed. Let's just head back to Azure Watch. I'm gonna call it here. I need to get some sleep, as there's stuff to do tomorrow. Both Mum and myself have started a course, and Mum has an exam on Wednesday. It's a course from home, and just have to do a tidy, fix the place up a bit for it, because you have to be on like webcam for it. So just need to do a bit of a fix up, and we also have to head out and get stuff. So we got stuff to do. Before I forget again, as I keep forgetting.
Good health, long life.
Oof. Cost.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
Probably feels I shouldn't be grabbing these till Pandaria, because they may go away and the money's lost, and they may go away and the money's lost, or it's gonna be I'll just be learning them for free anyway. I think in Pandaria they removed the need to go to trainers and train. So, which did kind of remove a bit of the flavour of the game, because that's how we always did it. So the game felt lesser for not. But you did appreciate being able to keep more of your money. So it swings and roundabouts. But I'll talk to you next time. I'm gonna go see about getting some sleep. Like I said, gotta tidy the place up a bit and do a town run, so to get stuff. So should get some sleep tonight. But I'll talk to you. Till then, folks.